Welcome back to Mallorie and a cup of psychology. When we talk about mental health and productivity, we often focus on balance, the perfect 50-50 split. But what if the secret to a resilient mind isn't just balance, but dynamic interplay? Think about your daily life. You crave actions, creations, and hustle, what we call yang, but you desperately need stillness, reflection, and downtime, the yin. Most modern cultures teach us to suppress the yin in favor of constant yang. The result: burnout, anxiety, and exhaustion. Today, we are reaching back to ancient Chinese philosophy, the concept of yin and yang, to understand how this eternal duality is the most powerful psychological framework we have for mastering the stress for 21st century. This isn't just philosophy, this is the ancient code for psychological well-being. To apply this, we first need to redefine yin and yang away from simplistic labels like good and bad. They are two complementary forces that define reality. Yin is receptivity and restoration. Think of yin as the internal, the passive, the dark, the deep dive. It's a time you spend sleeping, journaling, meditating, or simply processing thoughts. It's an essential input phase. Psychological equivalent is introspection, passive processing, restorative sleep. Yang is action and creation. Think of yang as the eternal, the active, the light, the push. It's your work output, your intense exercise, your eternal communication, and your effort. It's the output phase. The crucial psychological takeaway here is interdependence. The symbol itself shows that within the yang, there is a seed of yin, and vice versa. You cannot achieve peak action, the yang, without adequate, intentional recovery, yin. Trying to live 100% yang is simply a recipe for collapse. Let's look at how this applies to productivity and the modern workplace. We often push through fatigue, treating rest as a failure, but from a yin-yang perspective, rest is a vital, active phase of production. The yin of deep work. You cannot enter a productive flow state, the high yang, unless your mind has been sufficiently restored by deep rest, the high yin. Pushing yourself after poor sleep doesn't generate yang, it generates frantic, low-quality activity. The strategy is, if you feel stuck on a project, yang is blocked. The solution is not to push harder. The solution is to step back, take a walk, or meditate to activate yin. The clarity and solution will often emerge during that quiet, receptive state. And the psychology cost is when we constantly prioritize output, the emails, the meetings, the deadlines, we starve yin. This leads directly to burnout. Burnout is not a lack of energy, it's a profound systemic imbalance caused by the chronic denial of the restorative yin force. We can also use this framework to manage our emotional lives and relationships. Emotional duality, acceptance versus action. When facing difficult emotions like sadness or anxiety, the yin energy, our Western instinct is to immediately fix them, the yang, but the yin approach teaches receptivity, allowing the emotion to exist without judgment. The practice is acknowledge the sadness, the yin, then use the clarity gained from acceptance to decide the next best action, the yang. In relationships, true intimacy requires both forces. The yin, this is a time for deep listening and empathy, absorbing your partner's truth without immediately formulating a response. The yang, this is a time for setting boundaries and clear communication. You must articulate your needs and actively protect your space. A relationship fails if it's all yin, passivity, no boundaries, or all yang, constant argument, no listening. The ultimate message of yin and yang is not to achieve a static center, but to manage the continuous dynamic dance between these forces. To achieve psychological wholeness and resilience, we must stop fearing the yin. We must stop viewing stillness, rest, and sadness as flaws, and instead seeing them as essential resources that fuel our action. Your actionable takeaway. Today, I challenge you to identify one aspect of your life where you are living 100% yang. Then dedicate 15 minutes to an intentional, non-productive yin practice. No scrolling, no planning, just breathing or simply being. Notice what clarity emerges. Thank you for exploring the yin and yang of the mind with me today. I'm Mallorie, and I look forward to connecting with you next time.